Hello, my name is Sreeja Sengupta, and as part of the Indian Economy and Policy course, I am going to talk about the economic impact of the Naxalite movement in India. Naxalite or Naxalism is an informal term referred to the communist group that was formed as a result of the Sino Soviet split in the communist movement of India. The term Naxalite comes from Naxalbari, a small village in West Bengal where a group of Communist Party of India leaders led by Charu Majumdar and Kanu Sannal led a violent uprising in 1967 while trying to form a revolutionary opposition in opposition to the CPIM leadership. It all started on May 25, 1967 when a peasant was attacked by hand hires over a land issue. The local peasants retaliated by attacking the local landowners and violence erupted. Charu Majumdar was an admirer of Mao Zedong of China and he advocated that Indian peasants and lower class should follow in his footsteps and overthrow the government and upper class whom he held responsible for their plight. Ironically enough, while the police was able to suppress the Naxalbari uprising, within 2 months, the idea of Naxalism spread very rapidly to other parts of West Bengal and even to other parts of the country. By early 1970s, the ideology of Naxalism has spread to far-flung areas like Andhra Pradesh and Kerala in south, like Bihar in east, and Uttar Pradesh and Punjab in north. Incidentally, in Andhra Pradesh and in West Bengal, the main support base of the Naxalites came from the Aboriginal tribes, the most oppressed sections of the society, the Girijans in Andhra Pradesh and the Santals in West Bengal. There were a number of social, political, and economic reasons behind the rise of Naxalism. Economically, the problems of poverty and the economic inequality can be identified as vital reasons behind the acceleration of the movement. The rising incomes post-reform India gave birth to a new aspirational class, but it also increased the class divide to a large extent. There were a number of peoples, the Dalits, the tribals, and the landless poor, who formed a huge section of the population, but they were deprived from the fruits of the economic gain. They were deprived even from the basic amenities of life. Added to that was the nexus of the contractor politician who controlled most of the resources of the forest and pushed these Dalits to one corner. The problem aggravated when India opened its doors to foreign investment, to the liberalization. Then there was the advent of MNC, and these MNCs began eyeing the different natural resources, minerals, for setting up SEZs and other such functions. This led to a scarcity of resources for the tribals and the Dalits. But the then government failed to realize or underestimated the plight of these Dalits. Thus, the economic exploitation of the Dalits, which was ignored by every political system, led to the fertile ground in which the Naxalite movement accelerated. However, although it started on purely altruistic terms, over the years, Naxalism has metamorphosed into a monster that have resulted in countless fatalities and huge economic losses. For example, the Naxalites have burnt and destroyed hundreds of bridges, roads, schools, hostels, and have looted thousands of banks and ATMs. For example, on 22nd May 2008, Naxalites activists looted a cash delivery van of the ICICI Bank on National Highway 50 km away from Ranchi. They took away 51.1 million worth of cash and 1.3 kgs of gold. Similarly, construction of roads have been severely affected by Naxalist activities. In the Bijapur district of Chhattisgarh, for constructing a 22-kilometer of road from Bijapur to Gangpur, the police department lost 56 of security personnel because of various Naxalite activities. The tourism industry is another industry which has been severely affected by this insurgency activities, because there is palpable sense of fear among the tourists, and as a result, many popular tourist spots are remaining deserted. Construction of mines have been stopped because of Naxalite activities. In Kalinga district of Orissa, Tata Steel had to wrap their projects up midway because there was opposition from the Naxalite parties. All of this have resulted in declaring Naxalism as one of the greatest, in fact, the greatest internal security threat the nation is facing right now. Central and state authorities are working in synergy to increase the capacity of the police force and also their capability and to wrap up the security measures. However, Beyond these counterinsurgency policies and measures, there is need for development. There is need for development to be put in place. There is also need for employment generation in order to provide economic opportunities to the populace who are being most affected because of the oppression and have chosen the path of Naxalism. As former President of India, V.V. Giri said that employment is the problems of problems why youths are choosing Naxalism. There are employed youth who are not getting the comforts of job and hence are resorting to Naxalism, leading to the speedy rise of Naxalism in India. Thank you.